Alright guys, this is Combat Sports Central Fight Maps. We're here with Entity-1 Combats. Yeah, let's get right into it, man. We just want to first ask you guys, what first got you into boxing or combat sports in general?
I go first?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. What got me into boxing, first of all, was in my 8th grade, 9th grade year. So at the end of my 8th grade year, I was actually playing soccer or football. So I was playing football, and there was a time where I just didn't want to play anymore. I actually went into high school. I got cut from the team, and I'm all like, man, what do I do? Like, what's my next step in life? Like, where exactly do I want, do I see myself? Especially like with athletics, for the most part, like, since I was a kid, I was always involved in a bunch of different sports, and I loved football. And it came to a point where my uncle would come from the valleys to work here in Mapola, here down in Compton. And it got to a point where he would ask me, hey, like, what are you doing? Like, you're just going to get fat, just sitting on the sideline. So it got to a point where, like, my life was just going really, really bad. I was feeling depressed, especially because I wasn't doing sports.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't doing sports, and for the most part, all my life, like I told you, I always used to be active all the time. So when my uncle kind of told me that was even that was a deal breaker, man. That was that was more of a heartbreak.
Over the edge?
Yeah, exactly, bro. It was just like, damn, man, like more pressure, like inside my head. And it came to a point where like he kind of got tired of me like just sitting on the sideline, and he gave me my first heavy bag. And from there on out, like, he just taught me the basics. And
cool.
Well, I got to train like almost every night when he would actually come from the Mapola. And then when he would go to the valleys in the weekends, of course, like, I would try to like pick up things on my own, whether it be watching YouTube videos or watching actual bouts.
Yeah. So you would say that your uncle would be one of your...
Yeah, definitely, bro. Definitely.
The one that pushed you into the direction?
Yeah, especially because he used to be involved in boxing as a kid, though, too. But just that he used to get into a lot of street fights.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where he actually hit, like, the canvas or the concrete floor, like, really, really hard, like, when he was fighting in Guadalajara. And from there on out, he just stopped doing it. But, of course, like, you always get that little itch,
Yeah,
so sometimes,
yeah.
So sometimes he would always, like, train. Like, sometimes when I still go to the valleys, I still see him hitting the bag. Or sometimes, like, one of his nephews, like, fights in, like, little MMA organizations.
Okay.
So, like, he helps him with his boxing. So overall, like, he was definitely a big influence.
All right, cool, man.
Yeah. And for me, my brother was a boxer. He was like an amateur boxer, like back in the day. And I was 8 when he went, and then it was like a youth center, like in Lincoln Heights, a prison.
Yeah.
And what he did was, the prison was abandoned, right?
Yeah,
so all they do,
it's been shut down since like the 60s
a while
or
back,
something.
yeah. And then he would like break down 2 cells and make a ring there. And they put a ring in there, and as a trained there, I did it for like 6 months.
Oh, sick.
And then when I was younger, and then I played soccer, so I did that instead. And then when I was 15, my brother like, hey, you want to do karate? Just randomly karate, like, I don't care, do karate. And they did like, it was like a dojo. Like, they wanted money more than they wanted to teach people. So we left and we went to like MMA gym, did the jiu-jitsu gym. Now I'm to train jiu-jitsu.
Oh.
And, so yeah.
So you're still doing jiu-jitsu right now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I was training at Checkmat, and now I'm gonna go to a different gym.
Okay, cool. And what? Do you go by a belt?
Yeah,
rankings
blue
or
belt.
something? Oh, blue belt.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude. I'm really curious about the name. Entity-1 Combat. Like, it sounds like some like Spawn or like some comic book like type thing. So I just kind of wanted to know the background of that.
Okay, so the first question was what inspired me, right?
Yeah.
What inspired us? All right. So when I started boxing, like, I noticed that in my area, there's really no gyms, man. Like, the closest gyms that we have are like in the Southgate area, like Bell, like, or all the way down in South Central, like a little bit further down.
Yeah.
So we don't have anything that's like really local. So like in my mind, I always think about, like, I'm not from the best neighborhood, as you guys can see, right? Like, we're not in the best financial situation, you could say. So I think that, like, the old saying, like how that old saying goes, is not about what you don't have, bro. It's like what you do have and like how you use it, right?
What you make of it.
Yeah, like what you make of it. So I just decided, like, oh man, like, if I have the same problem here in this neighborhood because I don't have money to afford a gym, then probably there's like a bunch of other kids or a bunch of other young people that have the same problem. You get me?
But even if they're not here, they could be somewhere else.
Exactly, bro. Yeah, exactly. And then I'm all like, so I don't necessarily have the tools for it, but I have the mind to, like, whatever I put my mind to, I feel like I could accomplish. So I just decided to come up with all these crazy little ideas, or sometimes me and him would sit down and come up with a bunch of little inventions and drills that, of course, will teach you some type of aspect of boxing. You know, for the most part, we're sticking to boxing right now. Eventually, you know, we want to move into other combat sports.
Yeah, I think it's really cool that you guys use something like YouTube to, you know, get this info out there, you know, for people who need it.
And him and our other homie Chile, he's from Chile. They started a channel, a fitness channel, like we said earlier, and on a little camera, on a little camera, and then they started before me. I came after, because before we were sparring here, and we weren't that close, but then YouTube brought us closer because we would come every week and train. And originally we were Apex Dream Fighters.
Yeah, yeah.
Because Apex, like the top of the food chain, very cliche, but Apex is a very, very common thing. Everybody is an Apex, something Apex Fitness. And so we talked about changing our name to something more original. This will at least come up with the E1 Entity-1 Combat is separate from everything else. So it's original, it's our own entity, more kind of our individual identity instead of something outside of Apex, like everybody has it.
Like when I first heard the name Entity-1 Combat, I was thinking like, dang, like there's gonna be some monsters, like like it sounded crazy, bro. I was like, damn, these dudes are crazy. But yeah, that's cool, man. So that's how you kind of like came up with that, just trying to like stick out, like stay
bro. Especially like how he said, like when we had Apex Dream Fighters, bro, it made sense to us. But at the same time, like even like when people would search us up in like the search engine, you had all this competition. You had Apex Fitness, Apex the Gas, bro, like Apex, like everything. So we wanted to be like our own entity, you know. And like you look at like our logo too, bro. Like our logo, like we have the saber-tooth tiger, but we also have, you know, like we're made out of bones, bro. Like even though we aspire to be different, bro, like at the end of the day we're only human, you know.
Right. Yeah, that's cool, man. It just all comes full circle.
Yeah, exactly, bro. It's like a yin yang sign, bro. That's a yin yang sign.
Yeah. And you know, I've been watching your videos and stuff, like I said, like I'm a fan. And I saw something where you were addressing why you don't compete and stuff, and it had something to do with your eye. And I just wanted to kind of like get a little more, you know, for people who don't know, or what exactly it is.
So in 2015, I was diagnosed with keratoconus. So what keratoconus is, it means that the front part of your eyeball or the cornea is bulging out. So what happens is that your cornea is supposed to be in a circular shape, right? So that way when the light, you know, enters, it goes right directly into the retina, and you're able to see like the picture that's in front of you clearly. So since my cornea was bulging out, like the light wouldn't enter directly to my retina, and it pretty much distorted my whole vision. So everything that I saw was like halos, double vision. It was just really, really bad. And well, recently, a couple of years ago, well, it's been almost 2 years since I got C3R surgery, which is a surgery that's supposed to stop the progression. And then, of course, I got Intacs, which is supposed to flatten out the mountain in my cornea. So, like, if I were to put a contact, it would actually fit in, like, perfectly instead of, like, being out of place. So, overall, like, I was just grateful that I had the opportunity to get those surgeries, because the last thing that I wanted was to get a cornea transplant or something to go wrong there and go blind. You get me? So like I don't compete just for the mere fact that I have Intacs in my eye, and like I don't want to get hit in the face and like you know rip it.
Losing your vision.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
That would be very hard to live with.
Yeah, so I'd rather just coach, you know, like even if, you know, I can't compete, you know, it's bad and it's sad, especially because I genuinely like sparring, man. I like sparring with my friends. I like sparring, you know, whoever would show up. And it got to a point where I'm all like, you know what? It's between boxing and my vision. So what do you want to do?
Right. Yeah. And unfortunately, sometimes you gotta choose something, even though it's like something you love or whatever.
Yeah, man.
And it's cool that you still involve yourself in the sport, because you know, a lot of people they'll just let it go. Like, you know, like, fuck it. And that kind of depresses people too, like without even realizing, like, you know.
You're right.
Yeah. So I know, like, you guys right now, you do your videos and all that stuff right here out of your own backyard, and that's really dope. But do you have any plans of ever opening up your own gym?
Yeah, we definitely do. Because right here, I mean, like we were saying earlier, that it kind of sucks. People don't want to come here because it's a backyard, it's some stranger's backyard. And so eventually, we want to start our small gym, and then eventually, you know, branch out on something more like a facility. And that's like down the line, several like a decade down the line. But now, somewhere small, got like a handful of people. And then he's more of the coach. I just like, I help him out and stuff. So he wants to make world champions and stuff. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, our name also involves, it says E1 Combat, bro, so we don't necessarily just want to stick to boxing.
Right.
We are, like, our overall goal, bro, is, like, to get other people that are specialists in other areas. That way, eventually, besides just focusing on boxing, we could actually create, like, an MMA gym. You know, that would be pretty cool to compete, like, in every little aspect of martial art.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of, like, little, I guess, business ideas, if you want to call it that way, where we try to get, like, people in. We try to get people in so we have the opportunity to train. And a lot of the times, honestly, bro, they're not really business ideas, just for the mere fact that we're not going to profit anything from them. Right. And then we would make, like, posters and ads, and we'd say, like, oh yeah, we're gonna give you guys the gloves, the wraps. Like, don't worry about it. All you guys have to do is show up and train. And even like that, people, when you tell them, like, where exactly it's gonna take place, it's like, oh, backyard.
Yeah.
The problem is always the location.
Yeah,
the Watts, like, the Watts riots. Like, people think of that.
Yeah.
And when we went, like, in this area, Watts, we put posters up. It was on Southgate. And Southgate's like a middle class neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like, when you hear Watts, like, I'm not going to Watts, especially now in someone's backyard. It sounds shady. So it's always come down. They call us and they're interested, but they find out it's a backyard and Watts. Like, nah, I'm not down for that.
Like, the people that we got the opportunity to kind of train, we honestly always have conversation. We used to have, conversation after practices. We used to eat sometimes, bro. We used to sit down. Some people would actually cry almost on our shoulders, man. So, like, I feel like overall, like, I mean, it's not to hype ourselves up, but I feel like when we get the opportunity to like, really train with people that are really, like, focused on the work that we're also implementing on them, I feel like that's, like, the best type of relationship, especially because not only are we, like, in a working relationship, but also when we're done training or working out or whatever work it is that we're doing that day, like, even after, bro, we always have a blast, bro.
Cool, man. Oh yeah. And that's cool. Like, that's know that you guys develop that sort of relationship with the people you do train. There's some gyms where it's just about the business.
Yeah, exactly.
They might be good gyms. They might be whatever. They might have this or that name. But you show up sometimes and it just seems like they don't care.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
They're like, oh, do this, do that, and like, all right. At the end of the month, make sure you have my money.
That's
so,
true.
it's cool that you guys try to take the time to really, get to know the people that you're training and stuff.
Exactly.
So that's cool, man. What do you think is the most important aspect of being a fighter, a successful one?
Well, just showing up. Most people that we train here don't, like, towards the beginning. We had a lot of people in here.
Exactly.
If you look at our first videos, it was a group, and it was hard to record because we were always, like, messing around and stuff. And then it started dying out. People stopped showing up. And then at the end, we would, like, get a replacement for, like, a cameraman, and then he would stop showing up. And at the end, like, for the last 2 years, it's just been us two. So just showing up. And then he had some twins that would show up, like the girls we were talking about earlier, and they were good. So they stopped showing up, and then you're not gonna progress if you don't show up. So just showing up.
Yeah, I think overall, like you said, it's about showing up, bro. But, like, I mean, like, in a bout itself or, like, in any type of competition, it's also being able to adapt, because not everybody's gonna show you guys the same type of style. So being able to adapt is a good thing. Like, being able to adapt to any situation that's, like, put in front of you, being able to adapt to any type of style that your opposition can.
There's a couple of big fights going on this year. People are talking about one that's 2 weeks away is Errol Spence Jr. versus Mikey Garcia. Who do you guys have for that fight, man? Like, who you placing your bets on?
Me, honestly, I'm for the Mikey Garcia. I know I've seen him fight before. I've never seen Errol Spence fight before. I've seen highlights and I know he's good. Yeah. And I know Mikey's, like, a very, like, basic boxer, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, like, basic, but he gets it done. He's like, fundamentally sound. Errol Spence, I haven't really, like, seen him in his fights, so I'm gonna choose Mikey Garcia because I want him to win because we're both Mexican and stuff. But, like, if I technically, I have no idea.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, if I'm breaking it down, bro, honestly, like, my mind says Errol Spence just for the mere fact that he's the much larger fighter.
Yeah. And
I feel like he's more accustomed to 147. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time Mikey goes up to 147. Yeah. So if you look at, like, Errol Spence, like, versus, like, Chris Algieri, although Chris Algieri doesn't have, like, the same, like, he's not fundamentally sound like Mikey Garcia.
Yeah.
I feel like if Errol Spence were to somehow really trap Mikey Garcia, I feel like he could actually break him down the way he broke down Chris Algieri with pure body shots, man. And he actually sits on his shots, man. Like, look at, like, the Kell Brook fight. He sits on his shots he hits hard. So it all depends if Mikey could take that punishment.
Yeah.
But like my heart says Mikey, man, but my brain says Errol Spence.
Yeah, you think he's too big for him?
He's too big for him, too strong, bro.
Yeah. I feel like if he corners him,
Yeah, that's
gonna be the end of that fight. Yeah. And you know, before we go, I just wanted to ask you: is there anyone in the LA or Southern California fight scene who you're keeping your eye on right now, whether it's MMA or boxing or whatever?
Yeah, there's one kid I went to high school with. He's like a pro boxer. I don't even know him too much, but he's 3-0, and he seems like in good shape. I honestly don't know his name, but a person that I do know, Ryan Garcia. He's like been in the media lately. He has like a couple million followers.
Yeah, and
he's from he lives from Victor, but now he's in San Diego training the Canelo team.
Okay.
So Ryan Garcia is someone that it's kind of an obvious one that we think is gonna shine.
Yeah. Well, I say David Haney, but he's not really from the South LA area, but he's training up there in Oakland. He was training like with Snack, just like Mikey Garcia. Like that's where he does his like conditioning. So I'm just, I'm looking forward for David to fight Ryan Garcia, honestly, bro. That's...
Oh, yeah, I want to see that too. What about in the MMA world, Aaron Pico?
He got knocked out, bro.
Yeah, he got knocked out, but I know he's from Whittier, I think.
Yeah, he trains here in Lakewood. He trains at Team Body Shop Karate. And him and AJ McKee. AJ McKee's his training partner. He's like 10-0 or something like that in Bellator.
Okay.
So he's from around here. He's really good. So
sick.
Yeah, Aaron Pico, and then
doesn't he train with TJ Dillashaw?
TJ Dillashaw. I'm not sure with that. I think owns a gym here in Lakewood, Team Body Shop or something like that. But it's local, so he's up there.
Guys, I want to thank you guys for giving us the opportunity to get this interview in. And guys, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. This is Combat Sports Central Fight Maps, and we're here with ENTITY-1. Make sure you follow them on Instagram and on YouTube. That's ENTITY-1 #1 Combat.
Yeah.
Yep. E1_Combat.
E1_Combat
on Instagram.
Yeah. For sure, and don't forget to subscribe to these guys too, man.
Yeah.
Really cool dudes, man. Appreciate the opportunity as well.
All right, guys. Peace out.
Thanks.